A very good evening. Thank you for joining us here in time for New Vision TV News. My name is Lynn Komjisha. We come to you from the New Vision newsroom. Now, today, PLE results were released, and it was hugs, smiles, joy, and happiness as different pupils received the good news from primary living examination results. Different students from different schools flocked Vision Group head offices in Kampala today following the release of their results. Most of the students that New Vision TV talked to attributed their huge success to hard work, parents, teachers, and the use of New Vision Pass PLE pullouts. We captured these moments.
My name is Kisubi Palvin Pike, live in Makid. I got 4 aggregates, and this is because I put God first in everything.
Islamic School. I'm so excited because I got first grade and 5 aggregates.
My name is Namuage Danielle. I'm 12 years old. I'm from studying in Kaboja Junior School. I got aggregate 4 in my PLE.
My name is Mantuli Shamita. I come from Gombe Junior School. I expect to get a first grade single-digit aggregate. My name is Margaret Bagarakayo. I'm from Gombe Junior School. What I expect in here is a single-digit first grade.
My name is Namda Shukran. I got aggregate 4 from Kampala Quality Primary School.
My name is Idola Karajin. I'm from Kampala Quality Primary School, and I got aggregate. My name is Leno Kuchiza Mwamba. I'm from Kampala Quality Primary School, and I got aggregate 4. I was so happy when I got them, and I thank God for it.
My name is Nkisiga Satish. I got 4 aggregates, and I'm from Kampala College. I feel so happy, and I thank the Almighty Lord.
Now, still about the primary living examination results released today from Luzira prisons, a defilement convict managed to come top of the prison school. Petrid Mudora, who has the report from Luzira.
I was locked up as a defiler, but finding free education in jail, I am determined to leave prison as a landman. My prison sentence has turned into a blessing in disguise, says 26-year-old Richard Maende, who is serving a 7-year prison sentence over defilement.
I got aggregates 14, and I'm very happy to pass these examinations, which were very hard, according to me. But I have managed. I have prayed so much to God so that He helped me and pass these examinations.
Maende emerged Luzira's best candidate in last year's primary living examination, having scored aggregate 14. He scored 14 aggregates with a 3 in English, a 4 in science, 3 in SST, and 4 in mathematics. He intends to become a journalist when he completes his education.
My plans, after completing my sentence, I want to become a serious journalist.
Luzira Inmates Primary School registered 62 pupils, but 56 sat for the final examinations, of which none passed in Division 1, 31 in Division 2, 19 in Division 3, and 4 in Division 4, while 2 failed and 6 were released but did not turn up to sit for their final examinations. This was disclosed by Gilbert Nwamanya, the head teacher of Luzira Inmates Primary School. Out of 62 who sat for the exams, 5 were women, of which one of the best women scored 14 aggregates. Among the candidates was Jamiru Kafero, aged 56, who is serving a year jail sentence over aggravated robbery. Kathero scored 28 aggregates with 8 in English, 7 in science, 6 in SST, and 7 in mathematics. He intends to become a lawyer when he completes his education. Many of the prisoners are languishing in jail simply because justice is considered for all but interpreted to the rich. Becoming a lawyer will enable me provide free legal services to those who cannot afford to hire lawyers, thus ensure equal justice for the poor, Kathero explained. Paul Ambayo, who was condemned to death over murder, said, "Not even the death sentence hanging over my head would bar me from enrolling in education. Instead of wallowing in self-pity, I have ended up attaining formal education, which I was not able to attain outside prison." Ambayo was among Ruzila's best performing students in last year's primary leaving examination, having scored aggregate 22. He scored 22 aggregates with 8 in English, 5 in science, 4 in SST, and 5 in mathematics. This story was compiled by Petrid Mudola for New Vision TV.
Very interesting news there. We'll take a look at news and business now. In business tonight, Uganda Revenue Authority Commissioner General Doris Akol recently called for the amendment and, in other cases, abolition of several taxes, including the OTT. She called for the repeal of some non-tax charges on some government services like verifying land titles, renewing passports, driving permits, and amendment of the Tax Procedure Act to allow for installment payment of taxes over a financial period. Paul Busharizi, our business analyst, joins us tonight to shed more light on what the implications this has on the taxpayer.
No, I think the proposal was made by more specifically the Commissioner General Doris Akol. The proposal, her proposal was that instead of trying to get, OTT as a separate tax, why not just incorporate it in the taxes on data?
Yes.
For easy, because she says OTT, there's a massive invasion of it.
That's why I said we know why.
Yeah. And she said, if you really want to collect this money, there's probably a more efficient way of passing it through data than thing. I mean, I think for me, I supported OTT as how can I say, as one way to get in on how do you tax these massive transactions, because the amount of data, for example, just used on social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, all those is just amazing.
Yes.
So for me, my thinking was, look, we need revenue. We can't catch those companies. Facebook can't pay taxes in Uganda, WhatsApp, whatever. So how do you catch them? And the government thought this was the way to go. Clearly, there were some challenges with it, but the need for taxes didn't go away.
What do you think of this tax on data? How will it capture what they initially wanted to capture?
I think it would, and they wouldn't even have to charge very much, because our consumption of data is increasing
on a daily.
I mean, about 2 years ago, if you told me I would use a gig in a month, I would laugh at you. Now I'm going through 5 gigs in a week or some crazy number like that. I'm sure if they put a tax on it, it wouldn't even have to be very high, because it grows. I think the idea is the idea is that data, the internet is an infrastructure which enables a lot of economic activity. Right. So the last thing the government wants to do is to reduce the consumption of data. You want to tax it that people don't feel it, but you can collect, and people can keep on using the data services. So I don't think you'd have a huge tax on data.
On
it might
data,
be a
yes.
0 point something percent of every, whatever, just to collect. Because I think it's a smart thing to do, because in 5-10 years time, it will be impossible to create a law like that.
I would
mean, the data, the community around data will be so powerful they'll resist it. So you better catch it when it's early. I think it makes sense.
Well, so look out for tax on data, because, well, you failed to pay OTT. I was paying mine.
Not failed, they refused.
Yes, Paul, refused. So please, you guys, we need to pay our taxes. It is important for the growth of our country. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
That was news in business. Now let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back from that break. We continue looking at what's happening in the country. A new telecom company, Lika Mobile, entered into the Steve Telecom service market, pledging to boost the 4G internet connectivity beyond Kampala. Lika Mobile was launched by the first Deputy Prime Minister, General Moses Ali, who represented His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni during the colourful night event at Sheraton Hotel.
The first Deputy Prime Minister, Moses Ali, said Lika Mobile's entry into the market is a testimony that the long-lasting peace, security and stability is key in the development trajectory of the country and investment agenda. Moses Ali, however, tasked Lika Mobile proprietors to lower the cost of data, a challenge that many customers in the country have decried. He said, "You will not regret your decision. Technology is no longer a choice, but a necessity. Also, ensure that low-cost data services accessibility is achieved. I encourage you to always come up with practical solutions to grow our economy. We will rally youth to take advantage of the Lika Mobile services to solve societal problems," he said. It is up to the customers to take full advantage of this healthy competition. With an official handover of the Lika Mobile SIM card, Moses Ali launched the mobile company, kicking into motion the operation of the telecom, which joins the likes of MTN, Airtel, and Uganda Telecom Limited, among others, who currently operate in what the Minister of ICT, Judith Nabakuba, described as a tough but interesting market. The entry is a welcome development. Competition is good and it encourages innovation, Nabakuba said. Your investment is a sign and vote of confidence in our policies. Focus on the broadband policy connectivity to enable affordability, digital inclusion, and innovation. Founded in 2002 by a Sri Lanka British citizen, Alihaja Subaksiran, the company has a net worth of 2 billion euros and boasts of 15 million customers across the globe. According to Vinay Alapati, the Lika Mobile Director Uganda, the company will use Uganda as its best to explore the East African market. The company, which also operates in South Africa as a virtual technology company and has ventured into mobile network activities for the first time in Uganda. Alapati said to lay a firm foundation for operations in Uganda, they will inject $100 billion. It is a partnership with the people of Uganda, he said, explaining that his dream is to expand the company to all the East African Community member states. In Uganda, he added, they will offer special internet connectivity discounts to students in order to boost innovation and technological advances among the youth. Still in telecommunication, MTN Uganda launched trials of 5G network, and it will become the first country in East Africa to have a feel of 5G network and the third MTN market to have the same after South Africa and Nigeria if it is successful. MTN 5G network was launched by the Prime Minister, Dr. Hakana Rugunda, who was accompanied by Uganda Communications Commission Executive Director Godfrey Mutabazi and Vision Group CEO Robert Kabshenga. The Prime Minister, Dr. Uganda, in his speech, appreciated the move and promised to speed up the different works in the different sectors. And on the side of government, he vowed to continue helping MTN company so that it can achieve and sustain this new technology. Samuel Sentongo from the MTN engineering department explained how the 5G network is going to speed up the work without using a lot of data, and noted that this network will be accessible to a few types of phones. At the end of the function, people were taken through the demonstration of the 5G. This story was compiled by David Lumu and Nazifa Nampera for New Vision TV.
That's 5G technology for us, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, round of applause, thank you so much. The future is upon us, ladies and gentlemen.
The future is upon us, indeed. Now, in our special report tonight, the results from last year's primary leaving examinations were released earlier today, indicating improved general performance with boys beating girls. Here are some of the highlights.
Particularly, those improved performance in English and social studies at distinction level. In contrast, mathematics and science were poorly done at the same level. Cases of exam malpractice were reported, with the results of as many as 1,512 candidates withheld as investigations continue. Dan Odongo said schools whose results were withheld will be notified through their district inspectors of schools. In his delivery of the statement of release, he said that a total of 695,804 candidates from 13,475 centers registered for last year's exam.
Of these, 68.2% of the candidates were beneficiaries of the Universal Primary Education Program, and the 31.8% were candidates that were in private schools.
UNEB chairperson Mary Okwakol presented the thick booklet containing the results to First Lady and Education Minister Janet Museveni shortly after midday. The minister later officially released the results to the public after her speech inside the main hall of Kampala Parents School. UNEB chairperson Okwakol said more learners will continue to join post-primary institutions, and those examiners had reported that literacy has generally improved.
I'm also happy to report that cases of unregistered candidates, which were common by the time of the PLE examination, have not been received this year.
She said they registered no case of tampering of exams at storage installations. According to Okwakol, at one exam center in Mpigi district, a scout reported back with 500,000 shillings said to have been given as a bribe to engage in exam malpractice. She also clarified on a story that ran on Wednesday, January 15th, that reported of leaked exam papers failing PLE pupils. She said, "The correct position is that no papers leaked. The papers which were circulated were fake. I appeal to the media to always report correctly." In her delivery, Mrs. Museveni said she was pleased that as a country, we are continuing to register increased literacy levels and that it is a major victory for us as a population. But once again, she voiced criticism over pre-registration exams, saying it was unfair.
I think that this increase in number could be higher if it were not for the pre-registration tests being administered in many districts to exclude those learners who are assumed not to be able to pass. Now this is unfortunate because some teachers take it upon themselves to determine the destiny of these young people.
Commenting further on registration, Mrs. Museveni was happy that no pupil missed exams due to non-registration. She asked UNEB to have names of registered candidates clearly displayed at their respective schools in time before the exams. Last year's exams were done on November 4th and 5th. Senior 1 selection will take place on January the 23rd and 24th, next week on Thursday and Friday. Meanwhile, the minister sounded a war cry against exam malpractices, rallying all stakeholders to be involved in efforts meant to end the stain. It was revealed that in the course of marking, examiners found disturbing expressions inside some scripts, such as, "This is not the paper we are to do," and "This is not our examination." According to Executive Secretary Odongo, apparently, these scripts were likely from pupils who had been issued with fake exam papers prior to the day of the exams. It is understood that many gullible schools bought these papers and used them to teach the children overnight on the eve of the examinations. 61 suspects have been arrested and charged upon discovery that most of the exam malpractices were cases of external assistance given to candidates by third parties inside exam rooms. They are awaiting court action. Calling on the media to join hands to fight the vice, Mrs. Museveni underlined the corrupt and fraudulent actions of the teachers involved might have caused the affected candidates to fail. She said this is also a sign of serious inadequacies in teaching. Odongo warned, UNEB wishes to warn that from now on, the perpetrators of examination malpractice will be hunted down and brought to book. A fair hearing by UNEB's Examination Security Committee will be accorded to all 1,512 candidates whose results have been withheld. Those who will be cleared will have their results released. Odongo said, after the hearings are concluded, the board will publish in the media the list of schools and districts from which the results will have been cancelled. Odongo said over the last 5 years, candidates have been increasing by an average of 2.4%. Another notable trend over the same period is that more girls than boys have been registered to sit PLE. Last year, 51.7% girls were registered compared to 48.3% boys. It means that more girls than boys have completed the primary education cycle. Generally, 12,502 absentees were recorded last year, the same percentage as of the previous year, of 1.8%. In the area of subjects, performance improved in English and social studies at the distinction level. Odongo reported, overall pass level rose in science, although performance at the distinction level dropped sharply. In both English and mathematics, performance was poor in questions where candidates were required to apply knowledge in problem-solving situations or express themselves freely. He added, candidates were comfortable with questions that are direct and based on recalling. This situation has persisted over the years. On the bright side though, candidates were found to have improved in handwriting and presentation of their work. The number of candidates scoring no mark at all has also reduced greatly compared to the previous years. Generally, candidates performed better last year than in 2018 in the upper divisions 2 and 3. As many as 617,115 learners have qualified to be placed in post-primary institutions compared to 599,593 in 2018. Meanwhile, the best performing blind candidate is Arthur Ainamani Rwakitara from Grand Mashon Primary School in Nabingo, Wakiso District. He scored aggregate 9 in Division 1. The best dyslexic candidates are Rina Ahurira from Bwaise Parents Primary School in Kampala and Gael Parwot Gadi from Victorious Primary School in Kampala. Both of them got aggregate 9. Peace Sharon from Ojipaku Primary School in Arua District is the best deaf candidate. She scored aggregate 13 in Division 2. This story was compiled by Joseph Kiza from New Vision TV News.
Very many congratulations to you. Oh, that's all we had for you tonight. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time. Do have yourselves a lovely evening and a good night. I leave you with a fact file.